Sophie Nyweide, once a luminous presence on screen in films like Mammoth and Margot at the Wedding, passed away tragically at the age of 21. Her body was discovered on a quiet riverbank in Vermont, ending a life marked by early fame, immense talent, and unseen internal struggles. In the days following her death, her mother, actress Shelley Gibson, broke her silence and shared a deeply emotional and painfully honest statement about her daughter's passing, shedding light on the complexity of Sophie's life behind the fame and her fight with mental health and addiction. Sophie rose to prominence at a young age, impressing critics and viewers alike with her mature, emotionally nuanced performances. She had an extraordinary gift for capturing vulnerability and subtle emotion, a trait that made her roles unforgettable despite her young age. But like many young stars, she carried burdens most couldn't see. While the public saw the polished image of a rising actress, those close to Sophie knew she struggled intensely with her mental health. According to her mother, these struggles were rooted in trauma that Sophie carried from her early teenage years, trauma that she tried to process in silence. Shelley Gibson described her daughter as someone who felt everything deeply, someone kind, trusting, and heartbreakingly susceptible to being taken advantage of. Sophie was open-hearted to a fault, the type of person who could make anyone feel seen and heard, but often at the expense of her own peace. She found solace in art and writing, pouring her emotions into creative outlets that revealed the depth of her pain and longing. Despite numerous efforts from her family and professionals to support her, Sophie continued to battle inner demons that many never fully understood. One of the most revealing moments in Gibson's account was her acknowledgement of Sophie's attempts to seek help. Between 2015 and 2017, Sophie was enrolled at Elevation's RTC, a residential treatment center in Utah aimed at helping adolescents dealing with emotional and behavioral challenges. Shelley had made the decision in hopes of giving her daughter a fighting chance at recovery. While Sophie made strides during her time there, her healing process remained incomplete. Life after the treatment center was a fragile walk through emotional minefields, where progress often came with setbacks. In the weeks leading to her death, Sophie had been in Vermont, living in a small encampment along a riverbank with others who, like her, were navigating their own personal struggles. On April 14th, her body was discovered in that area. Police found a makeshift outdoor structure and a man who was present at the scene, though he is reportedly cooperating with investigators and is not considered a suspect. While the cause of death is still pending the results of an autopsy and toxicology report, authorities are not ruling out the possibility of foul play. Gibson emphasized that she did not know the people Sophie was with at the time of her death, underscoring the sense of danger and uncertainty that surrounded her final days. Speaking through tears in various interviews, Gibson conveyed not just sorrow, but also frustration at a world that too often fails young people battling addiction and mental health issues. She reflected on the difficulty of being a parent who can see the storm coming, try everything to stop it, and still feel powerless when the rain doesn't stop. Her words painted the portrait of a mother who loved her daughter fiercely, and who is now left grappling with the unimaginable pain of losing her in such a way. In an effort to honor Sophie's legacy, Shelley has turned her grief into advocacy. She continues to work with the Sophie Fund, a non-profit organization focused on supporting mental health initiatives for youth. Though it was originally founded in 2016 to honor another Sophie from the Ithaca area, Shelley's involvement has become deeply personal. Through the fund, she champions awareness campaigns and initiatives that aim to reduce the stigma around mental illness and provide resources for those in crisis. Her efforts have included work with suicide prevention coalitions and anti-bullying task forces, always driven by the hope that fewer families will have to endure the kind of loss she now lives with. Friends and former colleagues of Sophie Nyweide have shared tributes that echo her mother's sentiments, remembering a gentle soul who struggled mightily, but who also brought joy, warmth, and empathy to every space she entered. Many have expressed disbelief that someone so full of potential, with such a promising future, could be taken so suddenly. Yet the reality of Sophie's life serves as a stark reminder that mental health struggles often persist regardless of success, fame, or support. Her story is part of a larger tragic narrative, a tale of a system that is still catching up to the mental health crisis affecting countless young people. Shelley Gibson's decision to speak openly about Sophie's battle may help shift that narrative, making room for more honest discussions about trauma, treatment, and what real support looks like. She knows her daughter's story is not just about a young actress gone too soon, it's about every young person who feels unseen, unheard, or unsupported in their fight to stay alive. As investigators continue to work toward understanding what exactly happened in the final hours of Sophie's life, Shelley and those closest to her are focused on keeping Sophie's spirit alive in the most meaningful way possible, by ensuring her death inspires action, compassion, and change. They want people to remember Sophie not only for the role she played or the red carpet she walked, but for her real-life courage in facing her fears, her tenderness toward others, and her relentless attempt to make sense of a world that often felt too heavy. What remains is a sense of deep collective mourning, not only for what was lost, but for what might have been. Sophie Nyweide was more than a child star. She was a human being who deserved a lifetime to heal, to grow, and to thrive. Shelley Gibson's voice, raw, loving, and unwavering, ensures that Sophie's story will not fade quietly. Instead, it will echo as a call to all of us to look closer, care harder, and do better.